Hi and welcome. My name is Kartika Nair and you're watching Synchro Shakti. Ever so often I will hear from somebody who wants professional help for their mental health, for their mental well-being, but then they're still dependent on their families, like a wife or a child, and so they're not able to come on board because they can't convince their families that this whole mental well-being thing is actually a thing. Their families kind of laugh it off or don't take it seriously, or don't understand that mental well-being is also something to think about. Especially here in the South Asian communities, like in India, a physical health issue is taken very seriously. Everyone in the family is going to want to support it. But suppose there's an issue with the mind, if there's a psychological dis-ease, then that concept doesn't seem to exist. In fact, I've personally seen as a coach, husbands ridicule their wives, families telling their kids to just get over it, and parents just not taking the suffering of their child seriously. When I was younger, I was at some point applying to study my master's in counseling in Australia, and my Indian sense of self was finding it so hard to comprehend or wrap my head around the fact that mental wellness is taken so seriously in many other parts of the world. Having a therapist is so normal in many other parts of the world. Studying in university here in India, I did come across a lot of youth in my class, in my circle, who did deal with mental health issues, but I, just like the rest of my society, also brushed off their concerns because I was never conditioned to even look at mental health as a thing. It was always some sort of a hush-hush topic that, what would people think? People would blame their families. Parents would just kind of never speak about it and leave their child to suffer in silence. Now, it was only when I got hit with an anxiety disorder, high-level anxiety disorder called panic disorder, did I truly understand this. You see, I too was faced with the blank, expressionless, confused almost looks from society. Society gave me their 2 cents of advice on what I should be doing or why this is happening, but it was not taken seriously at all. But even then, my suffering and the intense madness and chaos inside of me was very real and extremely intense. It was when I was battling this anxiety issue by myself alone did I understand the true importance of having a community to support your healing and a community to love you and to support you through the whole experience. The mental suffering of people in our world today is not only very real, it's also very intense, and there are many people out there who can truly help these people come back to health. My message today is not just to the South Asian communities, but to communities across the world, to aunties, uncles, parents, grandparents who think that they've had it worse than us, or that our generation is completely spoiled, or we are hypersensitive to life, or we are overthinkers, or that we should take up more mainstream ways of living, like get a job, get married, have kids, so that our mind is occupied and that we don't have such negative thoughts. To you, I say that mental health in our generation is not so much that our youth has nothing better to do with their time than to think negatively, or we just empty vessels, and it's slightly more complicated than that. In my case, my brain, my physical brain, had wired itself to behave and act and think in certain ways around the situations of my life. I was at the mercy of what I habitually had become. So I had to undo everything. I had to rewire my brain, do some serious exposure therapy alone. And it was the toughest thing I ever had to do. And I don't want your wife or your husband or your children to have to go through this alone, because it's not easy. It's not something that you can just get out of just like that. It needs your love. It needs your support. So my message here is not to go throw them in the psych ward and sedate them. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's not a black and white message. It's not that you either ignore their mental health or you just throw them in a psychiatry mental house. It's none of that. You can on your own help them by being slightly more compassionate and ask them, how is it that I can help you? What can I do to be able to support you? You can help them get guidance and support. It doesn't have to be psychology based therapies. There are many alternative, very powerful modalities of healing and health. And when I say healing, I don't talk about suppressing, I don't talk about just meds, and meds. I talk about actually working through the issues that they might be having. So what I'm trying to say is simply be more supportive and loving towards the people who are going through something mentally. Don't make them have to constantly convince you that they need help. Don't make them feel bad and make fun of what they're going through, because they genuinely don't have control over it. It's kind of like when you have a physical illness, at least you can control your mind and your thoughts. Imagine when you can't control your mind itself. That's a tough thing to go through, especially for youth, or especially for somebody who's dependent. If you are somebody who's suffering and your family doesn't seem to understand this, please send this video to them. If you know somebody who's suffering and their family doesn't understand this, send that video to them as well. And if you are a parent, then or somebody in your loved ones are suffering, then please understand that this is not just something where you say get over it, or you need to get psychiatric help, there's no hope for you. None of that stuff. Okay, these are things that just with a little bit of love you can in fact, love itself is such a healing energy. It can really help. So please, let's be loving, let's hold each other, and let's build a good energy and a good let's build ourselves up into an enlightened society, instead of putting them in a psych ward and sedating them with not even addressing the root of the issue, or just completely ignoring that there is an issue. Let's be a little more enlightened as a society and come together in love, peace and harmony, so we can help build each other up. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Namaste.